What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now shout out to the Delta. Uh-oh. What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. And today's build video is going to be a special edition PlayStation PvP build. This is my nothing but DPS build. This is my go-to PvP build for Conflict in Xbox and now on PlayStation. I've been using this build ever since I started on PlayStation a few months ago. I'll show you the results, I'll even show you some gameplay, and of course the build breakdown. But obviously I am on PlayStation, so you can see on the top right of your screen, I am only shade level 206. So whenever I'm doing all of this PvP gameplay, remember that this build is not fully optimized at all. This build is not even fully recalibrated, nor do I have the shade level 1000. Now I know a lot of people ask, does this really matter with your builds? And in PvP, it does. It matters because that's the difference between one bullet, maybe two extra bullets that you could tank. That could mean you could kill an agent with 2 or 3 less bullets. I mean, the list goes on. You can get your skills back a couple seconds faster. You'll have a little bit of hazard protection or explosive resistance. There's just a lot of things that I wouldn't have on PlayStation that I normally would have on Xbox. But anyways, let's look at the Conflict stats so far. I am level 41 in Conflict. Now, remember, Conflict does not transfer XP over to my shade level, so I'm still going to be that low shade level. I'm just leveling up in Conflict itself. Now, so far, I've amassed a 1.69 KD and a 2.04 KDA. That's pretty low in my opinion, based off of my Xbox numbers. However, I do have to admit that I am a lower shade level and my build is nowhere near fully optimized. So I am playing at a little disadvantage. Let's see here. For the win-loss, 1.05. And this is all from this one build. I've only played with this one build the entire time. It's actually my go-to Conflict build when it comes to the Division 2, hands down. And whenever I level up on PC, I'll show you guys the PC version. But without further ado, here is my nothing but DPS build. So starting off at the top, I am using the sharpshooter specialization. Reason being is I get that target acquisition. I really want that with my eagle bearer. That way I can shoot enemies from far away. Doing so, I'm enabling myself to beam quote unquote players, and it's just a fun time. Using that with the Coyote's mask, I get a lot of extra crit chance on this build, and my teammates do as well. What's really nice about this is it's multiplicatives and it's amplified with the perfect glass cannon. Now, I fully understand that a lot of people hate all red builds, and I also understand that a lot of people don't like glass cannon, but I'm not like most people. I actually really enjoy it. I think running around with perfect glass cannon is hilarious. You can kill entire teams within seconds, and they get so upset because they know that if they shoot you with 2 or 3 bullets, you're dead. And it's true. I mean, I'm squishy. I know I'm squishy. You know I'm squishy. I'm not using a shield. I'm just running around with my head cut off, shooting you with some crazy raw damage. And guess what? It works. It works on Xbox, and now it works on PlayStation. I will admit that PlayStation Conflict players use more tanks than DPS. I will admit that PlayStation players use more shields and skills. And that does make my life a little bit harder running this build, but it's still doable. I mean, you saw the numbers, and that's just from me playing it at a shade level 200, whatever. The gameplay I'm going to show you with me versus Nothing But Skills from last week was when I was shade level 180, and we went up against his fully optimized spotter build at shade level 1800, and you get to see it. It's a pretty good time. Yeah, it's really nice. You guys will see. But anyways, the specialization sharpshooter, I'm using that for the target acquisition. No real other reason. I also like using the TAC 50. It is pretty fun getting a sniper kill every once in a while. But main reason is for the target acquisition for the Eagle Bearer. It makes this thing laser beam from halfway across the map, and it is glorious. Speaking of which, that is my main weapon. So my primary weapon, the Eagle Bearer. Now the only way to get this exotic is from the Dark Hours raid on normal difficulty. Now the base damage on this thing is 123.5k, but you can see in the core attributes my AR damage is low. I'm still trying to optimize it to get the numbers up. I did warn you guys that this build is not fully optimized at all. I'm still leveling up on PlayStation, so it's a work in progress. But this is my first PlayStation build ever, and this is my first PlayStation PvP build video ever. So, yeah, it'll get better. Now, my secondary is the Banshee SMG. Again, it's not fully maxed out, but it gets the job done. It's sitting at 115.8k total damage with 13.8 SMG damage, 19.5 crit chance, and max damage to armor. I threw Optimist on there because of the high RPMs. I'm able to get that damage increase fairly quick. And then the sidearm is the backup boomstick. I have this one with damage to targets out of cover and a pummel. And yeah, 1.4 million total damage. Stupid. It's stupid. All right, so looking at the build itself, this is my pretty standard PvP build. I use this a lot. This is probably the third or fourth time I've made a video on this over the last 2 years. I mean, I probably release this build every 6 months or so, and it still works. In fact, I think it works even better because a lot of people, they underestimate how much damage you are actually doing. And a lot of that is due to the Coyote's mask. So this exotic mask gives you the talent pack instincts. So every time I shoot an enemy based off of the distance I am away from them, I get a buff and my team gets a buff. So that's why I'm saying that this thing beams from distance, because I am purposely getting distance away from them to increase my crit chance. I have decent crit damage, but I want to increase that crit chance. That way I can just, work on the multiplicatives and have that crit just come to me through this mask. Now looking at the attributes, max weapon damage, crit damage, and then 5.5 crit chance. You can see I'm trying to optimize that. And then a crit damage mod, this one is 11.2. Next up, let's talk about the backpack, Walker and Harris. Now the Walker and Harris brand set bonus I get from this build, 5% weapon damage. Reason for that is I want to increase the base damage of my Eagle Bearer the highest it could possibly go. That way the multiplicatives and the amplifying of it goes even higher. I'm not too worried about crits. I'm worried about that raw damage. Looking at the attributes, max weapon damage. This one comes with headshot damage and crit chance. So 8.5 headshot and 5.2 crit chance. I threw another crit damage mod on there, 11.1, and then I have vigilance. So my weapon damage is increased by 25%, but as soon as I take damage, that is deactivated for 4 seconds. So again, I'm running with glass cannon, so I'm already trying not to get hit. So I might as well spec even further into that logic, that play style, and put vigilance on here as well, because I know if I get hit, I'm going to get hit really hard because I'm using perfect glass cannon. So if I'm using perfect glass cannon, I might as well use vigilance, because as soon as I get hit, I'm going to end up dying anyways. Now, speaking of which, here is the sacrifice. This is my chess piece. The named perfect glass cannon chess piece for the Providence Defense brand set. Now, the brand set bonus I get from this build, 15% headshot damage. The attributes, max weapon damage, max crit damage with a crit chance, 5.5. Now, the crit damage mod, again, is not maxed out. It's at 11.7, but I'm trying. I'm going to try to grind some more mods here shortly. Now, Perfect Glass Cannon amplifies all damage I deal by 30%. That's not just crits, that's not just headshots, that's everything. All damage you deal, 30% amplified. However, all damage you take is amplified by 60%. So that's what I mean by you're playing in a certain play style, because you know as soon as you get hit, it's going to hurt. So you got to be light on your feet. Go into the gloves, best in slot gloves, contractors. You want that for the damage to armor. It's a multiplicative attribute that helps out your raw damage, and it also helps when amplifying it with the Perfect Glass Cannon. Great pickup. Now this one, crit damage 10.7 with max weapon damage. Same logic applies to the knee pads. Fox's Prayer, best in slot. You're using it for the damage to targets out of cover. It's a multiplicative attribute, and it's really, really strong, especially when you're using raw damage. Now this one, the weapon damage is at 14.2, but I do have max crit damage on this one. And then finally, the holster, Fenris Group Holster. Now, the Fenris brand set bonus I get from this build is that 10% AR damage. Like I've been saying throughout this build video, I am focusing on raw damage, both in the logical sense, but also the multiplicative side of it, and I'm amplifying it. So I want raw damage on paper, so you can see it right here, high weapon damage. But then I also want high multiplicatives at the same time. So then I'm going for that damage to armor, I'm going for that damage to targets out of cover, and then I'm going for that amplified from that glass cannon. I'm just trying to increase it as high as I can. And then on top of that, you increase the weapon damage from vigilance as well. So a single part of this build is just aim at getting higher numbers. Now, looking at the skills, I know this is a controversial part of the build video, because a lot of you would probably say use a shield. However, I prefer a run and gun play style. That's how I have always played in the Division and Division 2. And shields are just not my favorite thing. It's not my cup of tea. So for this build video, it's just going to be my personal playstyle, and I use the Jammer Pulse and the Seeker Mines. Now you could change the Seeker Mine for an EMP sticky, but I don't have an EMP sticky yet. So I do the Seeker Mine to track my enemy, and I jam their skills with my jammer. Pretty simple. Let's see. Let's finish off with the stats. 123.5k weapon damage, 49.3k PvP weapon damage, 31.8% crit chance, 132.6 crit damage, 88.5 headshot damage. And then we have the damage to armor, 8%, the health damage, 21%, but then we also have that damage to targets out of cover from the Fox's Prayer knee pads. Now for the offensive tab, we're at 101.5% all weapon damage bonus and 37.3% AR damage bonus. So every time we use the Eagle Bearer, we are starting out at 138.8% damage bonus total. Now, gear talents, Vigilance, Perfect Glass Cannon, and the Coyote's Mask with that talent pack Instincts. Defensive tab, 714k armor, 276k health, with 0 explosive and hazard. Now this goes to my disclaimer like I do in all my build videos. I am only shade level 206 for this build video. So that means that none of these boxes are maxed out. In fact, I'm not even spec'd into any of the crit or headshot damage. I am not spec'd into skill haste at all. I'm not even spec'd into ammo capacity, accuracy, or reload speed, nor am I spec'd into hazard or... Oh, it's horrible. So that is why a lot of these numbers are low, because this is my first PlayStation PvP build. This is the build I am using as I am leveling up. Now, obviously, I'm going to be leveling up constantly, but as I get there, this is what I'm using. And yeah, for the fully optimized part, the Eagle Bearer should be at 127.5, I believe. So I'm only a few thousand off there. And then for the stats, I should be at 44 and 168 and 100. So I'm sitting fairly low on these attributes, and a lot of it is due to the watch level as well. But all right, everyone. So that is the build breakdown. Now I'm going to leave you with the gameplay. It's going to be the entire game that I played against Nothing But Skills. It's just my point of view. I went 6-6. I believe Nothing But Skills whipped the crap out of my team. So you guys get to watch that. I believe when it was said and done, I went 6-6, and my teammates went 7-14. So it was a slaughter, but it was still a good game though. GG's all around. It was really cool running into that dude. I've been doing content for years, and I knew he was a PlayStation guy, so it was really cool that after a few months of being on PlayStation, I finally ran into him. It was really cool. I was quite shocked. I remember back in the day, those videos at the very end, it would be like, if you haven't seen me in the Dark Zone, if you haven't seen me in Last Stand, if you haven't seen me in Skirmish, it's only a matter of time. And I found him in Conflict. It was pretty cool. But all right, guys, I hope you enjoy it. This is my Nothing But DPS build, because this is nothing but DPS. Truly. It's the highest raw damage build I could put together so far on PlayStation. But never say never. I'm sure it'll get better. Now, yeah, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I am Kamikazevondoom, and I will leave you guys with the gameplay. See you guys. Take care. Peace.
Rogue striker drone detected. An agent needs assistance. Immediate medical assistance needed. Agent down. Agent deceased. Agent down. An agent needs assistance. Rogue hive detected. Vital signs critical. Agent incapacitated. Agent deceased. Agent down. Vital signs critical. Agent incapacitated. Agent killed. Rogue incinerator turret detected. Boost about to come online.
Oh my god, this dog bait.
Boost online. Serious trauma detected. Agent out of action. Rogue striker drone detected. The boost is being taken by allies. Vital signs critical. Agent incapacitated. Allies are acquiring the boost. The boost has been taken by allies. An agent needs assistance.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Far left. Up the stairs.
Agent down.
I'm sending you a specialization supply drop.
An agent needs assistance. Rogue striker drone detected. Serious trauma detected. Agent killed.
You're running low on reinforcements. Supply drop is being claimed by the enemy. The specialization supply drop has fallen into enemy hands.
Agent down.
Coming through, coming through.
An agent needs assistance.
You're halfway through the fight.
Serious trauma detected. Agent incapacitated. Agent deceased.
That dude hits
Agent
really
down.
hard for having a shield build and
There
all
are
that
no more
armor.
reinforcements.
Yeah. It's just the multiplicatives with that in sync.
Oh, that's what it is? Fuck, he's sitting way hard.
Well, that with the spotter.
Rogue hive detected. An agent needs assistance. Immediate medical assistance needed. Agent incapacitated.
Doesn't help my clan members. They're sniping the shit out of me.
Rogue striker drone detected.
That shit just sits